Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about what Paris was like just in general, the daily life, the people, the food, all that jazz. I'll make it into two parts because I don't know how lengthy this is going to be. So I have my little journal here. I took notes while I was there. I bought it while I was in Old Paris, and let's get started. So obviously it was super exciting to be in Paris, even if I did have, my panic attacks and everything. And basically what happened was when I first really was hit with like, oh, this is Paris, was we were in the metro and I walked up into the Plaza de la République and I was just surrounded by gorgeous architecture and its incredible statue and all of these tributes to the Charlie Hebdo tragedy a year earlier. And it was in that moment that I gasped and I was just so taken away by the beauty of the city and just being there for the first time. All the buildings were so Parisian. The city is broken up into those arrondissements, so all of the streets go out into little different directions and up hills. And we walked to a nearby restaurant to eat for the first time in the city. And the first thing I noticed was that there were a lot of smokers. Smoking is huge in Paris. Everywhere I went, there were, people outside smoking, police officers, women, young people, old people, just outside of bars, outside of hotels, basically everywhere. And that being said, we also saw a dog just poop on the cement because there's not a lot of greenery in at least the areas I went to in Paris. It's just a lot of city. So they just kind of poop on the ground there. It didn't smell as bad as people kind of talk about or as it's kind of known for. You just get city smells. The only time you can sometimes smell it was when you go to the bathrooms in restaurants. It's downstairs, and then you kind of get the smell of Paris because of the buildings have just been built on top of each other, and also in the metro you kind of get a whiff of it, but it's not bad. We always say bonjour when we go into a place of business, whether it be a restaurant or a store. And that's basically what got me through, is just saying like bonjour and merci everywhere I went, just to be very polite. And even though they could probably tell I was American, at least I was trying. And the food came quicker than I thought it would. I expected the Parisian dining experience to take a long time because eating out is a social event in Paris, but it actually came pretty quickly. And the professor that I went with, Pascal Roulet, he had to explain us to everyone what all the menu items were and how things can be ordered a la carte or in meals. And that was intense. I ordered the thing that sounded the most familiar to me, which was carne ensalada, which is it's like a salty meat. It was very thin. It was on top of a bed of potatoes and bread, and just eating it was so fresh. It literally tasted like came off a pig immediately. But it was very salty, and I didn't quite care for it. And the potatoes just kind of tasted like potatoes, but everything did taste very fresh. I drank water the whole time I was there, but it's very big to also drink mineral water. The Parisians believe that, if you have certain ailments, that you should find the right mineral water for that, and it can cure you. So honestly, I was expecting the portions to be smaller, but these portions were huge. Like, all of our plates, the whole time we were there, all of our meals, the plates were like this big, bigger than American portions, I would even say. And they eat that for lunch and dinner. I was expecting the portions to be super small, but in talking to my professor, he said that's only true in fancier restaurants. As far as just the people, the waiter seemed very patient. He seemed like okay with the fact that we were Americans, but you could tell he was definitely frustrated that we couldn't necessarily communicate, but we were trying our best. And he was definitely very much, okay, I'm here. And you don't do tipping in Paris unless it's like really incredible. So he kind of just was